Alright, first video we're going to be reacting to is the weekly cookout. Social media completely broke dating expectations. Let's get into the video. I really ain't got no type of monologue or some shit like that. I want to see what he's talking about. Then I'll give my feedback.
And it slowly get weird. It didn't just randomly fall apart. Something very specific changed the way people see relationships, the way they see each other, the way they decide what they deserve and what they don't deserve. And once you notice it, you can't unsee it. Social media didn't just influence dating. It quietly rewired expectations on both sides. And that's why so many people feel confused, disappointed, and exhausted at the same time.
I have came to the conclusion that social media have a lot of y'all women mindset fucked up. Fucked up. A lot of y'all women.
All I can say is, because she's going to get into it, but a lot of the females that social media got fucked up, like their brains fucked up, brain rot, those are bird brain females who live vicariously through social media and also live vicariously through other people. They don't have a brain of their own. They don't have thoughts of their own. But there's niggas like that too. They just literally just believe anything and everything. They're the ones that think that Moneybagg Yo and Ari is a perfect relationship, or they the ones that want to be an IG baddie. They the ones who want to be a rapper's baby mama and think they're gonna change them, which they're not going to.
On social media, y'all going by what these celebrities, men giving they woman and stuff like that, and y'all want a man to do this and that and all this other stuff, when half of y'all never even had a rich man.
Facts.
Y'all don't even have friends
Facts.
that had a rich man. But y'all going by social media talking about y'all want this type of man and
Y'all got friends who get dogged out by the individuals who have no money, who are bums. They get taken advantage of, and they complain about being taken advantage of. They complain about getting taken advantage of, but they're enabling it, and you're the type to enable that shit. At least he got a good dick. Or maybe you say niggas ain't shit, but you don't tell her to leave that nigga and go for the square, like you guys call it.
never even experienced it. Y'all haven't even experienced rich man adjacent.
Facts.
I believe social media got y'all confused.
And not even talk about hood rich. We're not talking about hood rich. Not the niggas who be selling drugs like perks and Molly and shit like that and got drug money. Not that. We talking about the people who get their money like straight up, like they have actual business. And they get it legally. That's what we refer to.
How can you say if you're making $60,000 a year and you get with a man making $60,000 a year, how the hell you expect him to pay all the bills and take you on trips and do nice things?
Yeah.
That is unrealistic.
Yes, social media is most definitely killing romance, for very obvious reasons too. I mean, you get on Instagram and you can't scroll 5 videos without seeing some girl shaking ass in your face, or some guy doing some random fucking thirst trap. And of course, you're going to subconsciously compare them to your partner. And these people are genetic anomalies, and they also have filters, and they edit their videos, and you have no reason to compare them, because at the end of the day, you're with your partner for more than just physical attraction. But that's not what your biology wants to tell you. Your biology wants to go, oh, they're superior, or they're whatever, they're this, they're that. Let's be attracted to them. Let's imagine them. Let's think about them rather than focusing on your partner. And that's just the first iteration of what I'm talking about. Let's talk about how easy it is to be in contact with other people, and how easy it is to go get on a dating app and go hook up with somebody in the first fucking 20 minutes of being on the app. That's also a huge problem. We shouldn't have this many options.
There's there's one topic that I could talk about for hours, and I mean literal hours, it is the fact that TikTok and social media has completely ruined our generation's relationship expectation. The amount of stuff that I will see, and it's stuff like, well, if he wanted to, he would, and it's boyfriends sending their girlfriends like 15,000 flowers every day and taking them on these expensive vacations and buying them expensive things and going to nice dinners every single week. And then the people that are reposting this saying, I wish my boyfriend would do this, are people in high school and college who are probably dating guys who have basically no source of income. They're either full-time students or working to support themselves through college. I'm sorry, but like, you cannot expect young people who do not have like full-time jobs to be able to afford and do all of these things. And even if you are in like a full-time adult relationship, it is not normal to expect someone to buy you and do all these lavish things in a relationship and act like that is the bare minimum and what should be expected. They get this.
And for real, and it's like, also, if I were to see that shit, cause I don't pay attention to it, but if I were to see like people constantly taking trips and constantly showing off flowers and constantly showing off the lavish shit that they're getting, I would obviously know that's bullshit. That individual's leading by money, so it's either a transactional relationship or it's just the relationship is bullshit, and I don't think that they have anything good going in a relationship because I can see it for what it is. Like, there's something going on behind the scenes that this individual keeps buying this shit for you. Not saying like every single relationship's like that, but most relationships, if you're leading with money, it's like that, compensating for something.
Same time, it's not even just like the materialistic things. Like, people have also completely like changed their idea of what's like bare minimum and expected in a relationship. Like, it's supposed to be the normal that like your boyfriend should be ditching his friends to hang out with you and he should be like spending all of his time with you and this and this. Like I said again, especially if you're in high school or college, that is like prime time to be with your friends and build those connections and do that and just be young. You cannot be expecting your boyfriend or girlfriend in like high school or college age to make the relationship their number one priority, because realistically, that is just not a time in your life where your relationship should be your number one, and that is okay. That doesn't make your relationship not healthy or anything. It just means you're focusing on school and your career and your friends, things that you should be focused.
And you're learning, if you were to tell your boyfriend/girlfriend, hey, my life revolves around you, your life revolves around me, that creates a codependency. And then say y'all break up. That's how you go from, hey, I'm ending this relationship, let me go into another relationship, and become a serial relationship hopper until some shit happens like so bad that it traumatizes you to where it's like, all right, I need to be alone. Why wait to be alone? Why not after that relationship? That's when you know I'm not dating for a little bit because I still got to heal. That's what I did. Like, fuck that white bitch. I need to heal. And I was fucking. I'm still healing though. I'm still healing. But yeah, don't become codependent on a relationship that may not even last, man. Like, even as you get older, like, when it comes to relationships, don't allow someone else to tell you how a relationship. Don't allow somebody else's relationship or somebody showing off the relationship determine how you handle your own relationship. Don't let that affect you, unless it's like positive. Unless it's like, all right, this is how I learned to understand my wife better. This is how I learned to understand my husband better. This is how I learned to whatever that helps you grow. But if it's something that you feel like you want to hear, that is like more selfish towards you and not adding nutrients to the relationship, don't listen to that.
On. Just think there needs to be a discussion about shifting our views on relationships back to what is actually normal and not having this like completely jaded idea of what relationships should look like.
One of the biggest shifts social media caused is that it replaced real-time reference points. People don't compare their dating life to their friends anymore. They compare it to what they see online. Vacations, soft launches, luxury dinners, perfectly timed affection. And what social media does really well is remove context. You never see the boring days. You never see the arguments. You never see the compromises that actually make relationships work. So people start thinking, if my relationship doesn't look like this, something must be wrong. I've noticed that people aren't asking the question, is this person good for me? Instead, they're asking, does this feel exciting through compared to what I've seen online?
Or does this person look right for me? And by look right for me, does this person fit the aesthetic that I want to date? That's what they say. And not going by their character. You can have some bad bitches with ugly ass personalities which makes them ugly as fuck. Horrible. Disgusting. Stay away from me. And then just the energy off them. It's like, bro, like, I need to take several spiritual paths to get whatever you got away from me. But people only go for what their eyes see. When I'm really like referring to men.
Comparison doesn't stay digital. It reveals itself in real relationships, and that insecurity doesn't stay hidden.
Social media and dating apps have ruined this entire generation because everybody is under the illusion that there's limitless options out there. On one side, you have girls with 500 plus likes on Hinge, 300 DMs to go through, 86 unread text messages, offers to be flown out to LA for something, go on a 100-foot yacht in Miami, go to a really fancy dinner in Tampa.
Just
on the other
fucked.
side, you have guys that are sending out 50 likes a day on dating apps, following a new girl every day on social media, sending DMs, texting people, Snapchatting people. It's this merry-go-round of dating and people talking to each other. Even if a date goes well, a girl can be like, wow, that guy was sweet, that dinner was amazing. Oh, but this one guy who just slid in my DMs is a little bit more attractive. He's got more clout. He looks more successful. Even though that date with that guy was great tonight, I'm going to ghost him. On the flip side, a guy can go, wow, I had a great date with that girl tonight. I'm glad I went. But this one girl I just matched with on Hinge is just my type. Let me ghost that girl that I just had a great date with. Think about 30 years ago when nobody had phones, nobody had social media.
And the thing is too, niggas ain't like me, because I remember when I was dating 2 to 3 females at a time. I wasn't ghosting unless that female just didn't match my energy. And it's like, am I putting more energy into this? I don't need to. Next one, switch them out. But me now, I'm not gonna be talking to multiple females at the same time. That's just drains too much of my energy. I got other shit I gotta do. But let's say like a couple years ago, in my prime, I guess, like I'm still in my prime. And I was like really like talking to bitches. Yeah, 2 to 3 bitches, going on hella dates, doing my thing. At least always had 2. I at least always had 2. That was my perfect number. It still is. It's gonna get back to that. But yeah, these niggas today, nigga, you can have 2 bitches. You just gotta manage your time correctly. But we shouldn't be worrying about having 2 bitches. You niggas need to settle down. You know what? Do whatever you want. Stay away from my bitches.
Yeah, if you went on a really good date and you got home that night, you're spending the rest of the night thinking about that person. Nowadays, you go on a really good date, you come home, you scroll social media, oh, that girl's hot, ooh, new Hinge match, ooh, that guy's attractive, look at this DM. All of a sudden, the date that you went on that was really good, that you would love to follow up with, is no longer relevant, and you're on to the next one. And then we have the talking phase, which is something completely made up by our generation, where you could be texting somebody every day, you could be going on dates with them, you could be FaceTiming them at night, and then all of a sudden they hit you with, I'm actually talking to somebody else, you've been great, but thank you, gotta go. 30 years ago, before phones and social media, you would not have the physical ability to lead somebody on and then go, hey, I'm actually talking to somebody else who I'm not even dating, but I can't talk to you anymore, so I got a blast. Oh my God, there are so many things wrong with dating nowadays and social media and the way that our culture works. It's insane to think about.
Situationship, 2-man, fine shit, nonchalant, 3-month rule, roster. Bro, I'm tired. I am tired. Social media killed romance. In 2025, if I have one more man call me fine shit instead of beautiful or gorgeous, I will rip out every single strand of hair on my head until I am bald. I don't know why our generation has normalized this. Like, what the fuck is a situationship even? Do y'all remember when men used to show up to your door with flowers? Now they just want to text you DTF, love bomb you, and eat honey packets. Like, huh? May this love never find me.
Social media has absolutely destroyed romance because now everyone thinks.
And I ain't gonna cap even what she just said. With her going on social media saying shit like that, like, I don't even believe what she's saying. It's like on face value, yeah. But I'm not a face value type of individual. I don't even believe what she's saying, because I believe that she probably has multiple partners. If not multiple partners, she was either in a situationship or friends with benefits to somebody. And the individual who was bringing her flowers and courting her and shit like that played them. That's just how I think. Real women, real females, real ladies, they ain't on social media. If they are, they're not talking about dating and shit like that. Unless they're on social media with their husbands and they have like a dating or marriage podcast, which I fuck with that. Because they're with their husbands. Like, you need to see more podcasts like that. But if anybody's single going on social media talking about, oh, fine shit, nonchalant, you need to do this, or what happened to this? What happened to this individual? I'm not going to say they're mad. I'm going to say they're probably not having the best time with dating. Which, hey, if that's the way to get likes and views, go ahead.
Thinks they can do better. Everyone thinks they deserve someone hotter, richer, more famous. And instead of nurturing relationships that are right in front of them, they go chasing a figment of imagination that doesn't even exist except for on their explore page. And now we have these guys with just completely unrealistic expectations saying to themselves, well, why am I not dating the Instagram model? Buddy, you're a 6. That's why. And then we have all these women with inflated, massive egos from social media and all the attention they get. And they just want to be with the hottest guy who's ever existed. So the only men who ever get a chance are the males in the top 1% of looks.
Social media didn't just raise standards. It changed what people think is normal, not exceptional, not rare. Normal. You scroll through long enough and you start thinking everyone is living this upgraded life. Everyone's dating someone emotionally perfect. Everyone's getting spoiled. Everyone's always traveling, always taking pictures. And everyone's relationship looks calm, aesthetic, and effortless. And once that becomes your baseline, real life starts feeling underwhelming. A healthy relationship feels boring. A consistent partner feels average. Stability feels like settling. That's dangerous because nothing is actually wrong. Your expectations just moved. And I think a lot of people just don't realize that they're disappointed. Not because their situation is bad, but because their perception got distorted.
I was having a yapping session with my niece and my sister last night, and they made me realize that when it comes to this whole dating thing, I'm completely out of touch, which makes perfect sense. I've been with my wife since 2013. We've been married since 2014. So yeah, I'm out of touch. I didn't realize just how crazy the dating scene is out there. How could I know? But they were making it perfectly clear just how crazy it is. But what we all agreed on is that part of the reason why it's so crazy out there is just because of social media. Social media is ruining it for everyone. Because for real, we just be on these apps all the time talking about hypotheticals and what if scenarios and just making stuff up, about relationships and just making up scenarios of how things can go wrong in relationships. And people are actually approaching relationships thinking this is going to happen. So why should I, give 100% in this relationship? And that's a horrible way to approach a relationship. A lot of these what if scenarios and these hypothetical situations that we be talking about don't even happen to a lot of people. Some people never even experience these things, but we're talking about it as if this is something that's always happening. Everybody is so afraid to commit to one person and give their all to one person and pour into one person because everybody's feeling like, it's just not going to work. Something's going to happen. And that's just a horrible way of thinking. Like, if you truly want to be with somebody and you truly want marriage, you cannot be afraid to commit. You cannot be afraid to pour into another person. Social media with all these what if situations and these weird scenarios and stuff got everybody afraid to commit, man. It's sad.
Social media has ruined.
This is why I can't say about what he just said, because a lot of people are saying that, and even this video, social media is the cause of this. Social media. Social media is not the cause of this. Social media just highlights and amplifies people's experiences, people's opinions, people's outlook, perspectives on relationships. And depending on what type of algorithm you have is going to be based off of, that's depending on what algorithm you have is going to most likely, I want to put this in the right words, formulating the right words. Whatever algorithm you have is the mindset that you have, because you tell your own algorithm, regardless of if things are popping up on your feed, you can easily say, I don't want that, I don't want that. The algorithm is going to tap, all right, what do I like? What videos do they watch more of? What is it that they really fuck with? So I can send similar type of content to them. So if you're taking in more, or if you like a toxic relationship, like a toxic type of relationship video or a toxic relationship type of tweet, post, or whatever, and you consistently like those, you're going to get more toxic stuff coming to your feed, which is going to be going into, you know, your eyes and your mind and everything, and that's going to shift your outlook. So don't live on social media. It's you, the individual. Because if you can't say, okay, either that's bullshit, that's a joke, I don't want this on my feed, I don't want this in my energy, then you're the problem. You are to blame. Don't blame social media. That's taking accountability away from the people who are taking in the social media, taking in the negative posts about relationships, or the discussions about relationships, and, you know, other bullshit that isn't true.
Dating. And I'm going to tell you why. So back in the day, before Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all that good stuff, right? You will meet a person. You obviously find them physically attractive, right? You want to get to know them more. You exchange numbers, blah, blah, blah. When you go home, you're only thinking about that one person. I'm only thinking about that one guy I met at the party. You're thinking about that one girl from the cookout, right? Because when you go home, you're not clicking on your phone to compare her to somebody else. You're not going to her page to see what she doing. You didn't have access to all of that stuff. So you were able to genuinely get to know someone without any bias, without comparing, without anything. Like, it was just each other on each other's mind. So now, because of social media, you go out, you meet people. The first thing you do is look them up on the internet. So now you have a idea or perception of who they might be, or just based off of pictures and videos. And it's like, you don't even know this person. I hate it.
This is something I've noticed personally. People today have extremely high expectations for relationships, but very little real relationship experience. You see, social media gives you the vocabulary of healthy relationships without the process of building one. So people got
high expectations, but little to no grace for an individual. I expect you to be like this. I'm me. Give me time to grow into a better individual. Maybe not the one that you see, but the one that God intends me to be. But no, they want to go off their own fantasies. They want to have that control. And so, those people, you just gotta let them be.
Words, emotional intelligence, communication, consistency, I know my worth, but they haven't had to struggle with someone long enough to understand what those things actually require. From a man's perspective, that's frustrating because it feels like you're being judged by standards learned from content and not lived experiences. Expectations come from videos, from posts, from viral advice, not from real trial and error. And when expectations come from theory instead of reality, nobody feels good enough.
Man, social media done made relationships like weird as hell nowadays. Like, y'all normalize cheating. Y'all want a man to do 100% of everything while one person does nothing. BBLs, like what? And everything is so materialistic. Like, what happened to, like, you feel me? Let's be partners. Let's go build something together. You feel me? Like, what's with all that? Like, what's with all the seriousness? What's with all the designer, bro? Like, what happened to just going out to sipping pains? You feel me? Like, what happened to, like, just chilling in the crib and just enjoying each other's space and just being happy with one another, cracking jokes? You know? Y'all don't even know how to be intimate nowadays without having to spend a bag. You don't even have to spend a bag for intimacy. You shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to go broke for intimacy, whatever you want to call that.
Man, I feel like social media is literally ruining relationships nowadays because it feels like the shit is just not real no more. Like, for a nigga to keep a woman, you have to do all these things in order to please your woman. And if you don't do that, then all of a sudden you're not a man because you can't do it. And then it gives women this illusion that if your man doesn't do this and that for you, then he doesn't love you. But then it's also niggas out here that can do shit like that, but then they also get taken for granted and treated like shit. And then when women see other women get on the internet that's getting tricked on and niggas buying them all these Chanel bags, they start comparing themselves and start comparing their boyfriend to the other person's boyfriend and all kinds of shit. And it's like, damn, what can a nigga do? And then if you're a Mr. Nice Guy, you look at the internet and you see a lot of women say they want this and that out of a man. So you try to become that version that you think, you know, your partner would want. And then guess what? You come that version, you do all this shit to please her. You do all this extra shit, go out of your way, dates, flowers, trips, gifts, everything. Try to be emotionally there, all that shit. And guess what? You still get left and you still get treated like shit. Because it's like, it's an illusion. Like, this shit is not actually real. Like, people who are actually together and in real life and not sitting up here on social media trying to show only the good side of their relationship, they're happy and it's more of a partnership. Nowadays, people get on the internet and it's not really a partnership. It's just one person doing more for the other. And then the other person just basically being a people pleaser to try to please their partner. What happened to a fucking partnership, a teammate? Like, the shit is supposed to be two people coming together and working together and growing together and building together. Now it's like, okay, one person is building and the other person is just there for support, I guess. And I also feel like if social media didn't exist, a lot of this extra shit, like boo baskets, asking your girlfriend out for Valentine's Day, all this other bullshit wouldn't even have even mattered.
Let's get into it. I honestly feel bad for the men of this generation. The younger guys, like in their early 20s, in their early 30s or whatever, and say they don't have a very prominent career, such as like in finance, because I used to work in finance. So I know how much finance men really make. And investment finance, that's what I'm talking about, okay? That's where we used to work. I know those men make upwards of $200 and something plus $1,000 a year, okay? Not every man will make that amount of money. And if there is men that make that kind of money, it's very limited, okay? So I think it's so crazy that this young women, this young ladies of this generation is expected for a man to make $300,000 plus in a major city. You get what I'm saying? To take care of a family and all that. Not every man is going to make that amount of money. A man nowadays barely making $45,000, especially if he's black. I really think women are asking for a little bit too much for men. And y'all gonna be mad, but I really don't care because y'all need to hear the truth. Sometimes I honestly don't blame our men for going out and dating other races of women because let me tell you something. I grew up around those different women who came from very rich families, extremely wealthy. I'm talking filthy rich, probably richer than what you probably think. My parents had me surrounded by those kids, had me surrounded by those. Y'all don't even get it. Y'all think finding a man that rich, that has a legit career, legit, in STEM or something like that where he's making over 150 grand, okay? Y'all really think that's an easily accessible man? No, they're not. If you didn't grow up doing horseback riding classes, if you didn't grow up doing cooking classes, my mother had me in cooking classes with all the little white kids, all of them growing up because their parents taught them that. Y'all are missing that when you are born to be, honestly, a housewife and to live that lifestyle, you have to grow up seeing those things. It's just not going to come to you without you seeing those things. Now, granted, there are some women that just, you know, look up on a really high value, rich man. And, you know, that's just not his money and things like that. It's a bunch of other components that go into it. You get what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is I honestly feel so bad for these guys, especially our men. Other men, you know, I have friends of all races. Other men, they can make them a smooth $50K, $55,000, and their white wife will be so happy because she's like, well, I'm working too. And, you know, she takes so much pride into her man. And I feel like with black men sometimes, with this generation of girls, like the girl that got mad with the $30 for lunch, my man sent me money that same day. That same amount. And I went to Kava and I ate there for lunch and I ate it for dinner because I don't eat that much no way. Okay? It's just like, y'all are expecting men to make more than what they actually will make in the black community. If we're gonna be real, if he's not in the top profession, he ain't making a lot of money. People just need to find somebody that they love and forget what people tell you and just find who you love and be happy with that person. Stop trying to be like somebody else. Stop trying to live the life that you see on social media, because sometimes that ain't even realistic, okay? I think y'all just need to give the person that's in your lane a shot, because sometimes people try to go outside their lane, and I'm gonna be real with you, that ain't gonna work. You need to stay within your lane and stay within the men that you can date. But I don't know, I just thought about that, and I'll never treat my boyfriend like that. I just,
One thing social media made extremely cheap is validation. Attention is everywhere now. Self-reinsurance is instant and options feel endless. So instead of working through discomfort, people just scroll. Instead of having conversations, they check who's liking their post. I've seen people walk away from good situations not because something was wrong, but because something else might be better. And when validation is unlimited, commitment starts feeling restrictive. Why lock in when attention is always available? Why invest deeply when you're constantly reminded you have options? This doesn't make people evil, it makes them distracted. But distraction is poison for long-term relationships.
Social media has ruined dating for 99% of men because
Hey bro, it is not just social media. It's also the people you keep around you. Your homegirls. Your niggas. Like, there's individuals who want to have you at the same level as them, or even beneath them. You can have a good thing, and then one little thing happens. It's not even big. Just one little thing that you didn't like happen. You tell your homegirl, or you tell your nigga, man, fuck that. What's going on too, man? Or fuck that nigga. Go and do something with the other ones. Get back with your ex. Like, they don't lead you into. They don't give you promising advice and good advice. They don't tell you to, you acting retarded, right? You and your feelings. Like, go back, talk to them. I'm sure it wasn't that bad. Give them grace. They don't say that because they want to keep you where they at. I don't even want to say that because I feel like that's bullshit. Because I was about to say single women keep women single. At a certain extent, yes, it's true. But also single men keep single men keep men single. It's also truth to that. But I'm not going to say all single women. I'm not going to say all single men. It's just a mindset. It's a mindset. And you don't know. You don't know who your true friends are, the people who actually care about you, who aren't the ones who care about you.
the dating pool for women nowadays is worldwide. You could be talking to a girl in Tampa and everything's going well, you're going on dates, you're vibing, and then you get ghosted because she got a DM from an NBA player in Los Angeles making $10 million a year wanting to fly her out. And girls are analyzing guys through a microscopic lens to see if you give them the ick because you breathe the wrong way on a date, because they have endless options. They have 400 matches on Hinge they can go through in Tampa, Miami, Los Angeles, New York. They have invites to a yacht in Miami, a trip to Dubai, a ski trip in Aspen, all paid for. So if you're not in the top 1% of men in 2025, it really is like dating on hard mode. Think back to our parents' generation before social media. If you met a really pretty girl in your city, the only guys that she is aware of are the ones that she sees at work and hanging out around her neighborhood. Nowadays, if you see a pretty girl in your city, in Tampa, wherever, she gets attention from literally pro athletes, influencers, billionaires, guys with yachts, guys with Lamborghinis, somebody that'll give her something better and more exciting. Like, if you slip up for a second as a guy in this dating scene, you're toast. Unless you're got 1 million followers, or you're an NBA player, or you're an athlete, you're cooked.
I think it's so easy to get your dream partner. I think that social media portrays it all wrong, okay? I think there's this type of narrative of being manipulative in order to get your partner. I mean this in the sense of, if they take a long time to respond to you, you feel as though setting that boundary with them is taking a super long time to text them back. You're playing a game, you're manipulating, and by doing that, you're attracting somebody who likes to play games and that will manipulate and play that ping pong. That's not how you get your man. In order to get your man, you need to be authentic, and how that shows up, the meaning that is really supposed to be getting across is not to play a game, but you don't play that shit. And I mean that by, if somebody's not respecting your time and they're bullshitting with how they're texting you back, that should be an ick. That should be like, ooh, my husband does not do that. I don't want that in my partner. So I'm not going to give you my energy anymore. I'm going to focus my attention on something that's going to provide for me in a way that is substantial to me and that I can reciprocate back. And that's the difference between authentic, ain't playing it, and manipulation, I am playing games. And that's why people attract the wrong partners. But also, I think what social media doesn't really discuss so much is having empathy and understanding with people and situations. Obviously, if things are toxic or things are repetitive, inconsistent, confusing, that's obviously a sign that somebody's not respecting you, they're not respecting themselves, they're not respecting your time, and that's where you cut it. But understand that people aren't you. They're not going to react always as you. They have their own lives going on. Things do come up, and having an understanding and having communication, that is what is most important.
Social media is the downfall of so many relationships. And a lot of people think it's not that big of a deal or it's not that deep, but it is very much so that deep. Social media has got to the point where people are really seeing all the options that they have, not realizing it's a whole bunch of 20s, and they're leaving their 80% because of the 20% that they're being shown. This is for both ways, women and men. It can be in situations where it's like, well, this girl ain't doing this for me. This girl ain't doing that for me. Meanwhile, she has your back, she's supportive, she's loyal to you, she'll do anything you want, and just she kind of gets on your nerves here and there. Or she's gonna tell you no with certain things. So you get on social media, you see that all these other options, all the other women that's doing the certain things you want, the 20% that you want, you think, well, I should just go ahead and get that because that's way better than what I'm dealing with right now. End up leaving her, and then realize like, dang, you missing out. Flip side, it can be women with men. You see, you're dealing with a dude, you see all these other options, like, okay, well, this man, he likes to go do these certain things. This man, he likes to do that certain things. Meanwhile, your man, he might be a homebody, might be just standing inside. So it's like, okay, he's kind of boring. So you go out and go do those things. You get that 20% and realize like, oh, this dude has a loyalty problem. This dude has like, he's a womanizer. This man actually has a problem like drinking or smoking. And you end up, you thinking like this is it. Or on top of that, like, this man actually is not loyal. He just like here for the time, the convenience. So it's a huge deal. Please do not get it mixed up. Social media is a downfall. If you have somebody that's doing dang near almost everything, because nobody on this world is perfect. You just got to find the right person that's worth dealing with. If he or she is matching for sure over half of the things that you need, stay and work on getting rid of the other things and building up, because there's too many people that's leaving somebody that's doing all these other things, and then they trying to figure out like why now they're talking to all the people that's doing the certain things that they really wanted and trying to figure out why they feel so empty. You left your 80% for this 20%, and now you feel stupid. You're looking for love, and the only thing you're getting is lust.
This is something a lot of men won't say directly, but they feel it. Men don't feel like they're competing with other men anymore. They feel like they're competing with an algorithm, with highlights, with fantasy lifestyles, with curated versions of masculinity that aren't sustainable. You're not being compared to real people, to real experiences. You're being compared to moments, clips, edited lifestyles. And that's exhausting, because no matter how consistent you are, how present you are, how intentional you are, it never feels like enough when expectations are shaped by content instead.
You know, when I first hopped on this video, I thought this was a very good idea. I'm starting to get tired. I ain't gonna cap. We got 11 minutes. It's okay.
Of character. That's why men feel replaceable. That's why effort feels pointless. That's why some guys stop trying instead of trying harder. And I'll never forget what a friend once told me, which is, you can't win a game where the rules change every scroll.
Social media has a big role in why women are not content nowadays. Women will see other women doing something. Let's say, for example, they'll see a couple out on a vacation, and she'll see a celebrity couple out in Bora Bora on a vacation. She's like, I want to be in Bora Bora. And she'll look at you and be like, he only took me to Hawaii. Like, what the heck? He only took me to Hawaii, but he couldn't figure out a way to get me to Bora Bora. You know what? A quick way to figure out why your girl's kind of tweaking, if you take her phone, right? You just scroll through her Instagram. See what type of videos that lady watching. See what type of videos they're watching. Is it
like I said, the algorithm that you are watching, that's gonna skew your mind or better your mind. It'll skew your mind or sharpen your mind. Yeah, man. Shit, say I just took my. Actually, no. I can give an example. I remember my first relationship, very first serious relationship with the white girl. For her birthday, I took her to Atlanta for a weekend. Her favorite artist was Elton John. Went to go take her to see Elton John. Great time. Fun time. Both had an amazing experience. I get back. I say 2 to 3 weeks later, this bitch gonna say, I feel like you don't love me. Like, you haven't bought me flowers in a while. Like, what's going on? And a whole bunch of bullshit. And I didn't say this, but I wanted to. Like, bitch, I just took you to see Elton fucking John over in Atlanta. I paid for everything, the tickets, with both tickets, plane tickets, and the actual tickets, the hotel, paid for that. Our food, I paid for everything. And you say you think I don't love you because I haven't gotten you flowers in a while? But I'm not the type of individual to throw back some shit I did for an individual in their face. Now, back then I wasn't. Now, if we go on a trip and then you complain about not going on another trip, did you not just see? Because you being ungrateful. It's you being ungrateful and you're not being aware, or you're complaining just to complain. You're not enjoying the experience. You're not taking time for. Why are you really asking me about us going on another trip or us not going to that other place? Think you can get over on me? I don't know, but my girl ain't gonna say that. And if she does, I'm checking out real quick, because I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go. Let's say she got me a gift, a shirt that I've been wanting. Then I see somebody else got a shirt, but it's like a better quality. I wouldn't say, shit, I wanted a different shirt. They got this shirt. Why the? No, the fact that you got me a shirt, I love it. You were thinking about me enough to say, hey, he really wants that shirt, or he needs a shirt, so here. Like, yeah, I'm gonna love that. I expect the same reciprocity when it comes to that. No comparing.
Is it I love my husband content, or is it hate your boyfriend, hate your husband content? 9 times out of 10, her Instagram, her TikTok feed is telling her that she deserves more. I guarantee her feed is saying something like, you deserve more. He's not trying. If he wanted to, he would. My boyfriend did this for me. My husband did this for me. Why isn't he doing it for you? So their content is simultaneously, my boyfriend does all this for me, which makes them jealous. And then the content at the same time is also telling them that you're not doing, or your boyfriend or your husband's not doing enough. So they're always like all I gotta say is social media is ruining relationships. Like, for no reason.
Like I said, don't blame it on social media. Blame it on if you consume that type of content. If you consume that type of content, then you're the issue. It's not social media, because social media has a whole lot of different things. I know I don't fuck with politics. I'm not, my feed isn't full of a whole bunch of politics, and if it is, I say I'm not interested. I like funny shit. I like spiritual shit. That's pretty much it. Every once in a while, I have some shit on some story times with dating and shit like that. But other than that, that's all. It's spiritual shit and funny shit. I know my algorithm. So if your algorithm is telling you to hate your boyfriend or hate your girl, that's you thing.
I think social media is the worst thing to happen in relationships. Cause why are we basing everything on social media? I just saw a TikTok and it was like, ladies, if your man doesn't get you a boo basket, he doesn't love you.
I don't even know what a fucking boo basket is.
Do you think your grandma who's been married for 30 years was getting boo baskets?
I ain't gonna lie.
That man's...
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. The grandparents, if we were to hear or see the bullshit that's online that everybody's listening to, they'd be like, what the... They smack the shit out of their grandkids. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? This retarded shit? Like...
I love her. I don't know. I'm in my love era. And I just feel like you cannot compare what you're seeing on TikTok and Instagram to like a good man that God may have sent you. You know what I mean? Like,
she's the first person I've heard saying that, and kudos to Sierra. Sierra Leah. Sierra Leone. She's the only person to say the man that God sent you. God sent this individual specifically for you, but you want to look at AI. You want to look at social media and let other people's relationships dictate how it's going to go and how it's affecting your relationship. And God sent you it. That's a spit in God's face, bro.
So you're telling me that this man cares for you, he prays over you, he opens doors, like he's just a good man, and you're gonna leave him because he didn't go to Target and get you a basket with some orange socks, your favorite candy, and a blanket? And now I'm not saying those things aren't important, but like, you know what I mean? Or like, woo, on the other end of the spectrum, people who are like, oh, well, if he wanted to, he would. And like, it'll be a picture of a Chanel bag. Baby, your man works at Whataburger. He's not getting you a Chanel bag. And not to say that he wouldn't if he could, but if he don't get you the Chanel-y,
he can't.
How does he treat you? Like, relationships are not material. Why are we...
Not material.
Social media be really having y'all thinking y'all got options, but y'all really don't, for real. And how y'all operating like y'all ain't got shit to lose. Like, do you realize these are just people over the internet, bro? Like, a motherfucker has somebody sitting right next to them, loving them, giving them everything they need, but they think they got it better because of social media, because you getting a couple hundred likes.
Mm-hmm. And you never know, the motherfuckers that be posting the perfect couple content could be beating on their girls or emotionally abusing their husband or manipulating. You don't know. Like, even think about is it Derek Jackson? One of the famous couples who got caught, the husband got caught cheating, and a lot of people went up in flames and talking to. It was a halvesies. It was all like they felt bad for the female, for the wife, and the other side was, man, I know you've seen the wife's content. She's always annoying him. Like, he deserved to cheat or whatever. That shit ain't perfect. Even that, like, they seem like the perfect couple. Seemed until that happened. Like, don't trust these people on social media.
Then social media just fucked up all the relationship shit.
Don't trust these people on social media. Don't allow other people's relationship to dictate how you should be in your relationship. Unless it is aiding in your growth.
Because y'all listen to everything they say, like, nobody lives in reality no more, bro. If social media say a relationship over, you gonna believe it. If social media say that's unacceptable, you like, bro, it's bad. But don't lose a good person thinking you got hilly options. You ain't got shit, bro. You ain't got nothing.
And then those,
look around,
bro. Even those potential options, they ain't gonna be the ones that you. They ain't gonna be the full package. They not. There's gonna be something wrong with them because they weren't made for you. God sent somebody that was made for you. Don't fuck it up.
And lose somebody that really love you for a motherfucker who just liking your picture. Like, get your lame ass on.
Get your lame ass on.
Social media didn't change dating. It changed how people measure love. Love used to be about peace, consistency, safety. Now it's about excitement. People don't ask, does this relationship bring me peace? They ask, does this relationship look impressive? Will I get clicks? Will I get views? And when love becomes something you constantly perform instead of something you naturally build, it stops being fulfilling. That's why people are tired. That's why dating feels heavy. That's why expectations feel impossible to meet. Social media didn't ruin dating because it exists. It ruined dating because people started believing it.
Bro, let me tell you why social media is so detrimental to people who got weak-ass relationships and don't know what they really want for sure. That's because they think all the attention they get on social media is real. They think every nigga or they think every chick that talk to them is an option that they gonna get treated good or something. They don't know how to separate lust from real shit. They just don't know the difference. They think the grass greener on the other side. They like, okay, this motherfucker talking to me on social media, I can have something with them. But this is just social media. This is somebody just lusting over you. They could probably got a whole life. And one thing y'all gotta know is when somebody see you, they already determine in their head what the fuck they want to do with you. Whether they want a platonic relationship, whether they just want to fucking duck you, whether they want a real relationship, whether it's a FYB, they know. Whether they want to use you, they know from the jump. Right when they see you, they know what they want to do with you. You gotta know how to separate attention and lust and all that fake shit from the real shit. And a lot of people don't know how to do that, so they get weak in the stage in their relationship, and they be like, you know what? I get a lot of attention on social media. It's a lot more out there, and really, it ain't shit out here. Especially for you, it ain't shit, but you getting out here and getting played back to back and back.
Social media made men obsessed with women they never met and made women feel entitled to lifestyles they've never had and can't afford. Everybody scrolling, everybody comparing, but nobody's building. Men out here fantasizing about filter faces and highlight reels, ignoring the women who actually hold them down in real life. And women out here demanding a lifestyle that requires discipline, sacrifice, and structure from men who don't even have that damn selves. It's all a performance. Luxury rentals, fake love, borrowed money, staged happiness. Meanwhile, real men are losing focus. Real women are losing patience. And real relationships are dying because everyone thinks they deserve something they never worked for. We're chasing validation instead of value, attention instead of alignment, status instead of stability. It's not dating anymore. It's marketing. And the ones who unplugged, locked in, built quietly, and leveled up in real life, they're the only ones not participating in this circus.
Most modern women nowadays want premium men while offering discount value. And look, I'm all about being delusional when it comes to rewiring your brain and believing in yourself, but we can't be delusional about the reality of what we actually bring to the table. And before you roll your eyes, hear me out, girl, hear me out. I keep seeing women with lists of requirements, certain income, height, looks, lifestyle, but when I look at what they're bringing to the table, there's a huge disconnect. And listen, we need to have an honest conversation about this, and unfortunately, I'm going to say what everyone is thinking, but no one wants to admit. We've been programmed by social media to think we deserve the top 1% of men, regardless of what we offer in return. I see women who are overweight, have zero emotional intelligence, bring drama everywhere they go, and have zero self-respect, but they want a man who's fit, successful, emotionally mature, and has his life together. Society has taught us that we can demand everything from men while bringing nothing valuable ourselves, but that's not how attraction or relationships work. Men, they know when they're not qualified for certain women. If a man is overweight, broke, or immature, he generally knows he needs to level up to attract quality women. But we've been conditioned to think that just existing as women means we deserve the best men, regardless of our own value or effort. The culture has made us so delusional about our own market value that we think we can get a high value man while being low value ourselves. And then when men have standards for us, like wanting us to be fit, feminine, pleasant to be around, we get offended and call it shallow or unrealistic. We hold men to standards, but get upset when they hold any to us. That's not reciprocal, that's just you being entitled. If you want a man who takes care of his body, take care of yours. If you want a man with emotional maturity, develop your own. If you want a man who's successful, bring something valuable to his life. You attract what you are, not what you want. So if you want a high quality man, become a high quality woman. Stop expecting men to meet standards you don't meet yourself. Level up or lower your expectations, but be realistic about what you qualify for.
This isn't about deleting social media. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you'll be happier without Instagram or TikTok. No. It's about realizing when your expectations stop coming from real life, because dating didn't get harder for no reason. The reference point and the example to live by has simply changed. But let me know what you guys think. Did social media raise standards or completely break them? Is social media good for relationships, or is it going to continue to destroy them? Let me know your thoughts down below, and of course, feel free to share any personal stories. Until then, I'll see you at the next cookout.
Shout out to the weekly hookout, dope video. Yeah, I said everything I had to say about this. So it's just the dating shit with social media is just draining. That's why, like, I was like, bruh, there's only so much I could say about this. Let's see.